Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. The coaches usually get a lot of the thanks, but it
Yes.
takes a village.
It really does. Yeah.
It's also, Carifta is a great way to meet people from other countries. Ali and I know each other from Carifta and then continue to go on to other meets. And especially when you get onto the bigger scale, that your nation's team gets smaller, having a face that you recognize is so important. So,
Very important. Very important. These aren't just competitors. You're looking at your teammates essentially when you reach Olympics and Worlds.
Yep.
Because you don't really know anybody else.
Right. And you're going in with countries like the U.S., Canada, Australia, they have big contingencies.
Yes.
And it can feel very intimidating. So we would always set up our little camp with all those Caribbean islands that were competing and be near each other so that we had a home base that we felt there was a big crew behind us.
Yes. It does. It's fantastic for the mentality and to ease your stress coming in, because it can be so stressful being away from home. You're having all these expectations. You're hearing expectations from home and your parents and your coaches and yourself. So to have this and to have people of like-minded that grew up with you, know the challenges, know everything that you went through, be like, it's okay. You're gonna do great today.
Absolutely, yeah. It's definitely, it becomes a family, really.
Yes.
When you look at it and knowing somebody from the age of 11 and then continuing to know them. I don't know very many friendships that last that long.
No.
So.
No. We're going to have these two gentlemen moving away from the pack.
It's definitely amazing to see when you watch it and you're seeing some of the men pull away. But it still is a long race. We still have probably about 10 minutes left of this race. So a lot can happen in 10 minutes.
A lot can happen, but it is Cayman. Lennox moving in for that top spot, trying to move away from the rest of the pack, trying to be dominant because he does have his time that he needs to make to be competitive for the finals this afternoon.
You know, Cayman is really doing a great job with their swimmers. We talked about Harper Barrowman that's coming up tonight in the 800 freestyle. And then Lennox is here, 13 years old from the Cayman Islands and really just showing what he's got here. That's really exciting. Cayman is truly doing a great job with their swim program.
Considering he is so dominant in this race, we're probably going to see him in that 400 and hopefully in that 200 as well as at 800. So definitely look out for him to make his mark within his 13-14 category.
Absolutely, and we might even see him in the open water event. Usually these 1500 or milers end up also doing open water, which is an incredible event as well in and of itself. It's a separate Olympic event as well, so it's always an opportunity to make the Olympic team in that route as well.
Which is probably why I just understood why the 1500 is today. So you have a nice break before the 5K coming up.
That's why Alia's the smart one out of this.
Wow. Took a while though.
I just figured out why stay in your lane was a thing. Definitely makes sense because open water will be on that final day of competition. And I don't know about any of y'all, but if you try your best for 18 to 20 minutes, that will take a lot out of you. So being able to have 4 more days to recover from that is definitely important. But keep in mind, we're probably going to see most of these gentlemen again in the 400 freestyle, more than the bare minimum.
Yes.
Also amazing that Lennox is only 13.
Only 13.
So he's got a big future ahead of him.
Yes.
He's definitely pulling away here from the group and making himself known.
Cayman does every year that Flowers event, which is a fantastic international open water event. So I'm sure he's gotten a lot.
Maybe that will be my return.
Open water?
No. But I can pretend.
Oh, for sure.
I just want to go to Cayman.
That'll do it. That'll do it.
Maybe I'll enter, but not do it.
Just go on vacation.
That's a potential. I have been playing around with the idea of starting to train for triathlons. The problem is, I hate running.
Always. Always.
I don't want to run.
You rarely find a swimmer that loves to run. It's not fun on the knees.
No. And while I realize that staring at a black line for the majority of your life is quite boring, I find running a little boring.
Yes. There is something serene and tranquil about the swimming. We call it the black line.
Yep.
Running, that's a whole different beast.
Yeah. Maybe one day I'll get there. So we're passing just under 10 minutes here of the race. And, you know, this Cayman kid is really just continuing to distance himself from the rest of the group.
Mm-hmm. His previous time is at 18:08. I'm sure he's looking to go under that, but it is all him swimming on his own.
This could be a really huge swim for him this morning. And then looking at this evening's heat, really, I think there's only one other swimmer that would be competing against him who is entered at an 18:05. So if Lennox can get under that 18:05, he probably has a good shot of being the champion.
Yeah.
And what people need to also remember is that while being first is really incredible, at a meet like Carifta, where you're also competing as a team, you want to get points for your country. So first is amazing because you get the gold medal, but you want to make sure that you're still racing. It's never over. And getting points on the board, regardless of what place it is, can really mean the difference in your country winning and not winning.
Every point matters on this. And it's really fantastic to watch these athletes. It's the first day, it's the second event. A lot of these guys have 4 days of competition, but they are standing up and supporting their teammates in this 1500.
It's not an easy race. You are alone in your lanes for 18 minutes. So to be able to look over and see one of your teammates waving you on for my short stint as an 800 freestyler, I will recall. I'm fairly certain that a Carifta, I think maybe Carifta in the Bahamas, gonna age myself, 2003, 2002. I think I swam 100 to the 800.
You probably did. You probably did.
I'm glad I did it. It builds character.
You always have that one workhorse in every team. And it is 10 more laps for Lennox. And he is looking really fresh.
His stroke is really kept together. He hasn't really changed anything.
Yeah.
I've not seen any sort of like falling apart. I will say he is swimming very close to that lane line, which could help his competitor. If he was closer, they can draft off of each other. I know people talk about drafting in running and in cycling, but you can also do it in swimming, and it can gas you a lot if the person that is drafting off of you, you're almost carrying their weight a little bit.
Just about, yeah. And funny enough, he is circle swimming. So usually in practice, you circle swim because of the number of other teammates with you. So you swim down on one side and you come back up on the other. However, in competition, you really want to stay on that black line because if you circle swim, you're actually swimming more than the 1500.
I would be interested to know the math on like how many extra meters you're doing.
Yeah.
Because it seems insignificant, but
for 1500,
that adds up.
Yes, it does.
Just as you were saying earlier, when you're trying to go faster and you can do a 31:50 freestyle and you can bring that down to maybe a 29:5 or something, that adds up as well. You can hear those Bahamian cowbells in the background.
We have Tristan from Bahamas in lane 4. He's holding on for that second position.
And remember, Tristan is 17, so he would be in a different age group than Lennox is. So he's also competing to try and be top 8 within that 15-17 category. You know, I just took a peek ahead, and it looks like we've got Lennox swimming again in the 200 breaststroke in maybe, 20 minutes?
It warms my heart to see not just multiple disciplines, like multiple strokes, but disciplines as well. So you have the 1500, you have the 200, you have freestyle, you have breaststroke. Because a lot of athletes, a lot of young athletes like to say, I am this and I am only this.
Yep.
When in reality, that's not true. I was a backstroker up until I was 12. And I cannot do backstroke to save my life.
I think I've seen you do backstroke in like the warm down pool. And
Yes.
I am shocked to hear that you were ever a backstroker.
Right? It's amazing. But if I didn't do all 4 strokes, if I didn't do the IM, the 400 IM, the 800s, I wouldn't have been such a strong competitor throughout the rest of my career.
Definitely. Learning how to swim other races is not, or swimming other races is not just about doing the race, but it's a lot about learning about yourself and what you're capable of. And I think, when you're doing practice, you hear a lot about the different people and training groups and sprint and distance, but being able to understand that my body is capable of doing this can change your mentality.
Yes. Yes.
And it for me, it's even wilder because we were talking about like the different distances, but I don't know that I've seen somebody that can do the mile and the 200 breaststroke.
Yeah,
those are complete opposite.
Complete opposite. And he's dominant in this 1500. We're going to see him in the 200 later. But
do you think he's thinking about that 200 he has later?
Not at all. Not at all. I think at the beginning, you know your schedule. So you know, okay, I have the 1500. I have maybe 10 minutes before that 200, 15 minutes with warm down. And I'm going to focus on that after this race. So I'm going to put everything I have into this 1500 after this is finished, warm down, mentally prep for that 200.
It's definitely a learning experience because you can see some kids that will think about the next step, but you really got to stay in that one event until you're done with it and go to the next. We see it a lot in the world stage where we have, because of scheduling, there's somebody that can be in a semifinal of event, and then 20 minutes later they have their final.
Yes.
And so him being able to do this at 13 years old is gonna, I think, prepare him for tough schedules in the future.
It's a huge character development for him. A really great job with the management team and his coaching staff to basically tell him at a young age, you have no limits.
As some of my friends like to say, all gas, no brakes.
And there is the cowbell. He has 100 left. That's 2 more laps for Lennox.
And he is currently, a minute and 30 seconds under his entry time?
He's going to go a good 17. I think for him, he's definitely trying to make a mark and to show these 15 and 17-year-olds in the finals tonight that he is a force to be reckoned with.
That is absolutely amazing, the swim he's having right now. And really, I think we might see best times in lane number 4 from Tristan Ferguson as well, because he is not that far behind in the scheme of things.
50 left to go for Lennox. He's turning in a 17:11.
Yeah, so I mean, we're probably looking at a really high 17 minute here, and that would be a close to a minute drop.
Yeah.
His team is standing up, cheering him on, pushing him to the end here.
Beautiful tempo. He kept it throughout the entire 1500.
Look at him turn on. Look, he's flying into the wall.
Coming in, he's going to stop it with a 7:46.
Wow.
Beautiful swim for Lennox.
He's entered with an 18:08. So we are looking at what? I'm terrible at math. 30-second drop there?
Yeah.
About?
Yeah. Beautiful swim for him. We have Tristan coming in with an 18:02. That's also a drop for him.
Amazing.
And there is that race for that 3rd position. Once again, between lane 5 and lane 8. We see the drama and the excitement coming into the wall, and it's into the touch. Coming in 3rd, it is Bahamas again. It's 18-19, just like Ariana said, it's all about those points.
Yep, absolutely. And we have to remember that Tristan Ferguson out there in lane 4 is 17, so he's competing for the 15-17 category.
Yes.
I'm pretty certain that Lennox that time will be a first place for him, but really exciting swims across the board. So excited to see how those times shake out for this evening.
Yeah, it's going to be William from Bahamas versus Joey in tonight's finals. He's also 14. So we're going to see a very nice competition later today with the 800 earlier and also the 1500 men.
Very excited for that. And we still have a swimmer going, and it's important that everybody continues to stay engaged and they stay in the pool. It's out of a sign of respect. Yes. You wait until everybody has done their race.
Yes.
And again, our first heat of challengers in the 1500 meter freestyle. It is the time final event. Our second heat of challengers will be swimming this evening, and it is a mixed age group event. So we'll see what happens. Scoreboard stands.
Well done to Lennox. That was a fantastic swim.
From Cayman Islands. For the next event.
Absolutely.
Number 3, the 11 and 12 ladies, 200 meter breaststroke.
This is Alia's domain. So I'm going to shut up because I know
200 breaststroke is very similar to the 2 free. Pace-wise, mentally attacking it wise. You don't want to go out too fast because you might crash on the way back, but you also don't want to go out too slow because you want to hold a good tempo. You want to make sure that first 100 is challenging and competitive so you can come back really strong.
Absolutely. And the reason I'm a little bit hesitant is the balance that freestyle is. It's a very, I think, easy stroke to swim. Breaststroke, if you have a little bit too much up and down motion, that can crush you.
Yeah.
So this 200 breaststroke is sponsored by Grand Bahama Port Authority, bettering the life of Grand Bahama community and by extension the Bahamas through their unique features offered by their island, Grand Bahama. I know several of my friends that I race with are from Grand Bahama and are often spouting about how Grand Bahama is better. So not only do we have a island-wide, Caribbean-wide competition here in the Bahamas, we also are competing against other islands for whose island is better.
As far as I've seen, all of them are beautiful.
It's difficult. It is a difficult competition.
I'm sure.
But Nassau's better. I'm just kidding.
Going out for that early lead, it is Kia Alert from Jamaica. She was 8th in this event last year, so she really wants to make her mark, get into finals, and hopefully get that top 3 spot.
If I'm not mistaken, I think the majority of the group from last year's top 8 aged up into the 13-14. So really having the opportunity for Kia to come up and be the champion this year.
It really is a great opportunity because you know you want to do well, you know you want to beat the people you did last year, but there is a sense of relief that, okay, so-and-so is out and it's my time to shine.
Yep. I remember swimming with Alia even. She's a little bit older than me, so when she got to age out of the category, I was like, yes, now I have a chance.
And it is Kia going out strong. Menace in lane 5 from Barbados is making her move, trying to push into that second position. Menace has the fastest time with a 3:01.34. Like you said before, it is all about strategy. Kia went out strong. Menace held her pace. And now Menace has enough in the tank to catch up Kia as we go into this 150.
Right. Menace did a great job swimming her own race. It seems that she knows that her strength is really on the back end.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens in this last 50. Wow, what a turn by Menace.
Kia is definitely trying to push her, trying to pick up her tempo. But Menace is looking strong with that glide. It's really hard to defeat somebody who is powerful, has the strength, and has the glide in this event.
Absolutely. It's not so much about what you're doing above the water. It's almost more important what's happening under the water.
Yeah.
Wow, Menace really turned on the gas there in that last 5 meters into the wall and now going into the...
You could definitely see her plan of what she spoke with her coach, of just really focusing on her own race in that first 100, taking that third 50 and just racing in for this last. She's going to touch with a 3:08.91.
Wow.
A little bit slower than her seed time, but a really great time for a morning.
And remember, these ladies will be swimming again this evening, doing that race again. So sometimes it is about, just getting a lane tonight.
Yeah.
It's not about being the fastest not always about breaking that record. It's about just really making sure that you get a lane.
Yes. And it is different than track and field. It's not just automatically if you win the heat, you're going to go to finals. You definitely have to have the top 8 the fastest time between all the heats. But she's not just swimming within these girls, she's swimming with the next heat as well to put on a fast time to make it into finals.
Oh, wow. I didn't even notice lane 8, Scarlett Swirly from Bermuda came up and got that second spot.
We really love that outside smoke.
Love that. Especially in breaststroke, you can't see anybody.
Can't see.
So you can
see who's in front of you.
Yeah.
You can chase them down, but that's about it.
You can't see anywhere else.
I mean, you're not supposed to.
Well,
we've seen some people come up with like
heat 2.
That's definitely going to burn you out and fatigue you. So
Yes.
you don't want to be doing that. So all those ladies from that first heat are really going to be standing around, well, hopefully walking towards the warm down pool, but watching this race because you get a little bit of insight into those girls that you'll be racing tonight and seeing their style. Hopefully your coach is watching too, so they can give some notes and let you know. Sometimes it's a little bit of a cheat code to be able to watch your other competitors.
There we have an early speeder. And it's going to be Isabella from Bahamas.
So we'll see if her strategy is out fast and hold on or what that looks like for her.
Yeah.
And a big spot for the ladies, 200 breaststroke. Bahama Port Authority.
Really nice to get under that 40 mark for that first position for Isabella from Bahamas.
Absolutely. Her entry time is a 3:03, so
yeah,
she's pacing really well. We'll see what she's at the first 100 and still anybody's race. A lot of times, anything can happen. As I was saying, her strategy might be to go out the first 100 very fast and then hold on.
Hold on. I've done that many times.
I've done that too, and it doesn't feel good.
Oh, it does not. She doesn't turning with a 1:25.09.
Oh, wow.
Really nice.
So if she holds a pretty similar pace, she's probably looking at a 250. That's a 10-minute affecting the flags, but also the sun is directly in their eyes with backstroke. So
yeah,
sometimes it's very tough to see the flags. Generally, swimmers will be wearing tinted goggles of some sort, but still makes it very difficult.
Yes.
3.
So Wainwright right now the fastest time going into this final heat.
I really do hope that these ladies go into that warm down pool and practice their touches.
Absolutely. And this evening as well, I would always, sometimes the lanes are assigned by which country, but I would always try and find some time to get into the lane that I will be racing in.
Yeah.
You think that every lane is the same, but just it makes me feel better.
Especially backstroke, you're seeing different things. If you're in the middle of the lane before and now you're in 8, and now you're seeing all your teammates cheering for you,
very different.
It can be off-putting. Beautiful underwaters.
Missouri in lane 5 came in with a 29.99. She just got under that 30-second mark.
Heat number 1 taking ownership of the starting blocks.
That's really impressive. Lane 4, Mia Tin, the Aquatic with water.
Wow.
And it's Missouri Ferguson of Trinidad and Tobago.
Ooh, 29.74.
Excellent.
Beautiful swim.
And that is the overall low.
So she is the only one under 30 seconds going into tonight. And I tell you what, that is a powerful position to be in when you know you're in that second bracket.
Yeah. Yeah.
Getting ready now.
That gives you even a little bit more confidence going into finals tonight. Might not seem like much, but it is.
Nigel Fontanella.
What's really interesting is that we know as the Caribbean, we're not the same as the rest of the countries. So there's different advantages and disadvantages going into the international scene. But it's also here. So there are lots of countries that either one, don't have a 50-meter pool, swims in oceans. And I think Bonaire just got their first open water pool.
Wow.
So it's a structure in the water and they have lane lines.
Where did?
Bonaire.
Oh, wow.
So it's really impressive to see the representation across the Caribbean, but also know that each one of them has their own advantages and disadvantages.
Absolutely, I know. Sorry, just being quiet for the start there, but I know when you don't have a long course pool to train in, it is very difficult to come in and race. There's only so much preparation you can do.
Yeah.
Changing from being able to turn every 25 meters is very different to having to go an entire 50 meter.
And it goes back to the stroke counts. If you're used to doing 20 strokes for your race and now you're doing 32, around that 25, your body starts to shut down.
What is amazing is what a great swim.
Nice.
He was entered with a 32, so
30.98 for Savvy and Barton.
That's an amazing swim. What's really cool about the Caribbean is we have the ultimate open water source. I don't think I would do open water anywhere else if I was going to do it.
Block 0, Carrick Charles at block number 1. Darren Mann at 2. Block 3 is Brandon Atkins. Malcolm McKenzie at 4.
And if you're looking now, these are the 15 and 17 boys. You can see their bodies have definitely changed from the 13-14 category. They're really going to try and hold that tempo, try and sustain it for the whole 50, and watch these underwaters.
Definitely a big growth you see between 13 and 14 boys and now 15 and 17.
And we have a disqualification report. Event number 14, heat 1, lane 7.
Okay.
Unfortunately, lane 7 in the previous heat just got disqualified.
Gentlemen, heat 2.
So it looks like the middle group here in this 50 backstroke, they're all 17-year-olds. So really at the top of this range for the 50 back, wanting to be the champion before they age out of Carifta games.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see if the next Carifta games will continue to have an 18 upper category, or if it's just for
And
Olympic
with
games.
that, it's team number 3 making their way behind the starting blocks.
I like that. I like the idea of it because a lot of times you see people just stop swimming that could be great swimmers, but there's not an opportunity to race for them. So
But there is a gap. You go to CISD, and then if you don't make it international, Pan Ams or Commonwealth,
it's tough to
where are you
keep
gonna
going.
yeah.
Under the flags, in the
Ooh, good set.
It is Tristan Dorville, 27,
Lane 8.
Wow.
From St. Lucia, 27.86.
And the challenge overall,
That is
he's in the hot
fantastic touch.
seat. No
Out in
longer
the
a swimmer, he is the
Wow.
target.
He was entered with a 30.87. So now I have to ask myself, has he not done the event for a while? That's a
what I'm
3-second
assuming.
drop.
That's what I'm assuming. Given when I was 13, I think 13, 14, when my brush stroke suddenly clicked, like I understood it and I was able to actually be competitive in it.
That's fair. And you also see a pretty big growth in terms of musculature in men around this age.
Yes.
So backstroke especially, it takes a lot of muscle to be good.
Boys, relax, please.
So the boys were just told to relax in the pool, so it sounds like there's a little bit of a delay going on, potentially a technical difficulty.
It's always great to have them relax. It's not like on top of the blocks where they can just stand up. You still have to hold yourself up. Luckily, this one has a little foot position,
We have a technical.
so they don't have to put all the strain on the
And we
arms.
have a brief pause for a moment. Introducing our swimmers at the starting blocks. That's Neil Sherwin, Norma at block number 0, Tate Hilton at block
So there
number
is a
1,
technical difficulty going on right now at the pool, whatever that is. So
at block number 3, Darren Bell.
the swimmers want to make sure that they are kind of staying moving. You don't want to let your muscles get tight as you are sitting in the water. Pool water is generally a little bit chilly.
George at block number 8, and Elton Leonard at block number 9. In the water, and again at pause for an administrative challenge.
So not sure what the delay is there.
No, they definitely want to not fatigue their arms. They need to let go of that block. Really just do a little bit of sculling, hold on to the lane line. Anything else besides holding up.
27.86.
Yeah, it's difficult because your body wants to keep your arms out of the water because for whatever reason that helps you feel warmer. You see lane 5 is completely off of the wall, so he was resting his muscles there. And
the biggest thing was my forearms. They always got tight during warm-ups.
Yeah.
Especially those bigger competitions where the pads are huge and you have to like grip really hard.
I used to hate that. Nowhere to hold on, and you're like
nowhere to hold on.
Feel like you're on a cliff. So we'll see here if lane 5's version of making sure he stayed off the wall will help him out here.
Really great start by Sellers in lane 6. He's going to try and hold off Lewison in lane 5.
Absolutely tight race here. No, you can't even tell really who's going to end up taking it. It's going to come down to a great finish.
Nice.
A great time.
28.04 for Will Sellers from Cayman. Followed very closely by Jamaica, Brady Lewis.
Charles out of the second heat, who went 27.8, is still top
And again, this is just for the center lane tonight. When we come back tonight, 8 swimmers are going to be competing
for that touch.
For that top position.
You can definitely see the difference in the touches for these gentlemen versus the 11, 12, 13, 14. It's a teaching tool.
It is, absolutely.
The deciding heat.
Especially for the young ones that get excited and they just want to go at 11, 12. Really great for them to know what they're doing so their body just takes over so they don't have to think about it.
It's an amazing opportunity for the 11, 12s to be able to watch older swimmers.
Yes.
Real life, in person.
This is the last week on the men. 17.
And decisions when they
Beautiful
post their
underwater.
times, the scoring computer's going to decide.
Wow, what an amazing underwater by lane number 4 there. Really gave him a little bit of a ahead of everybody.
Definitely took that 15 mark to the max, and you can see the difference, but it will be tempo-wise. It is Trinidad.
Wow.
Very nice win for Liam.
Wow.
He won this event last year in 13-14, and he's coming back again in that 15-17 to show them that I am here.
I mean, what an amazing swim by him just now. He's really going to go into this evening with some confidence. He's, again, a second faster than the rest of the field. So great race by Liam Harrington. And now we have, again, what we were talking about, the 18 and over women here doing a 50 backstroke. It's really great to see a lot of these swimmers still swimming. I actually had the opportunity to train with Madeline Moore out of Bermuda for a little bit. Amazing girl. She was a workhorse.
I remember her from 2017. Her last Carifta was phenomenal.
I loved that there's enough 18-year-olds and over that there are 2 heats of this.
Yeah. Unlike the 200 breaststroke, it's just that one.
Yeah.
That's it.
I'm sure once we get to 150 free, we'll probably see a few more.
I'm sure. Good race for Mikay from St. Lucia. She's been to numerous worlds. She's trying to reach her second Olympics coming up, and she's actually pursuing her master's at Yale.
Oh my word!
It's fantastic when you see somebody doing it all.
To be able to balance school and training.
Yes.
I'll have to talk to her about that because that is tough.
Number 5 again.
Very tough.
Stopping the clock, setting the challenge, 29.94.
And it is Bermuda.
Logan Watson Brown.
Wow.
Bermuda.
Only one in that heat under that 30-second mark.
I think
going into this evening, we'll need to take a look and see what the trial or the Olympic cut is so that we can have an idea of what these girls are trying to go for, and potentially could be shooting for a world champs or any other number of international events.
Ladies, 18 and over 50-meter backstroke, heat 2.
Madeline Moore, if you've watched a couple of these Cariftas in the past, you'll definitely remember that name.
Great swimmer and great person. And again, you see that great underwater from these ladies.
So beautiful.
To do that number 1, Bermuda, right off the start, kicking and swinging. 15 made a mark. And it's one of those races, not a question of who it is when.
Teammate Logan won, he won. We're going to see Madeline coming in heat 2 as well.
29.68.
Great swim by her, just a little bit off of her entry time, but again, prelims.
And with that,
She was pretty confident that she was going to get a lane, so
The only time under 13 has been the Bermuda teammates. Logan and
Lamar Taylor at block number 5
Really nice
from
for
Bahamas. Trinidad and Tobago.
now we have
block number 6,
just
Christian
4
Club.
18 and over men swimming this 50 backstroke. Lamar Taylor also just coming off of an amazing NCAAs and conference.
And we're going to
I believe this was his final year. Oh, never mind. We are not doing that 50 backstroke because there's only 4 of them. We're going to do it in finals this evening.
On the 11 and 12 ladies for the 100-meter butterfly. Jayla Stutt at block number 3.
So we're going to go straight to that 100 butterfly. So you'll see everybody repositioning at the other end of the pool to start 2 laps of butterfly.
And it is different because we spoke about having that prelim swim and getting that feeling out before you come into finals. But a lot of these guys, 18 and over, have done this numerous times before. It's probably easier for them just to do a great warm-up, rest, and if they have another event, maybe they'll focus on that, but really just bring it back tonight.
Absolutely. So we talked a lot about strokes so far, and now we're switching to a different stroke again. We're going to see all 4 strokes this morning, which is amazing.
Yeah.
Butterfly is one of the 100 butterfly is one of the races I used to do very frequently. It generally looks like it's the toughest of the strokes. I think people are always scared of butterflies.
Yeah.
But really, when you do it right, it is beautiful and it is easy.
Yeah. Once you get that rhythm and then maintain the rhythm, but it really is a beautiful stroke.
And if you do not do it right, as I was talking about earlier, you will feel like you are carrying a grand piano on your back going into the wall. Your hips are meant to come up a little bit when you're swimming as an undulation, but it gets harder and harder for that to happen.
Very hard. Once the arms start to get heavy, your core just dissipates, and after that, it's really hard to create that flow and to keep that undulation.
A great race here. Lanes 5 and lane 6 are really pushing each other to the wall here. Wow. Wow. 3/100ths of a second separates first and second there.
Really good swims for these ladies.
Both had really great swims. Taylin from the Bahamas dropped 7 seconds.
Wow. With that first tag in 1:03.25 of Barbados.
Oh, wow. I don't even... Is that right? I don't feel like those times are right.
I think there was a miscalculation on her touch, so they're probably going to go by the official time. So behind, even though you have the pads, which stops it electronically, you also have officials and timekeepers behind the blocks as well. So they are the backups. So if there's anything wrong, their splits will be the official ones moving forward.
And that's part of how an event becomes FINA qualified, and why we see our 18-year-olds here. It's part of making sure that these times are legal and and can be compared to other times outside of this meet.
Ladies, heat 1.
So we'll definitely have to go back and look at those times, those official times once they release them. So we have heat 2 now with across the board, it looks like just one 11-year-old in this heat.
Yes.
And the rest would be at the top of their age group. So have a little bit of experience here.
Anya in lane 5 was second in this event last year, so she's definitely looking to make her mark before she ages up next year.
She's entered with a 1:10, so faster than what we saw just now in that previous heat. We'll see if that continues. I mean, looks great going out.
She is moving.
And it's my mistake. Heat number
32.22.
In the water. Heat number
so right now, I mean, if she comes back and let's say a 35, she'll be looking great.
We have Kia in lane 6. We saw her earlier in that 200 breaststroke coming back for a sprint. Zion breaststroke are very similar with the underwater and the elongation of the body moving up and down.
In theory, they're supposed to be similar. In practice, Ariana cannot do breaststroke.
It was all, yeah. I used a lot of my butterfly to prep for my breaststroke events because of that undulation. Straight to the lead. Anya with a 1:10.56.
So just a little bit faster than her entry time there.
Definitely looking happy for that stretch.
Event 7, Heat 1, Lane 4. Disqualification report. And getting ready.
Well, it's going back to the 15, 17, 200 breaststroke.
At block number 3, Alessandra Bazzoni at block number 4. Harold Simmons takes block 5. 6 is Jathan Winterdahl.
We'll have to look into that a little bit more and see what happened there.
Usually for disqualification for breaststroke, it's either a one-hand touch. Sometimes the kick is not coming together, and it's more of a scissors kick, especially when you get tired, the technique starts to go. Or it could just be a false start. But
interesting for it to be such a delayed report. So we'll have to look and see. Potentially, it was a touch, and the officials were debating on it. I'm not sure about at this meet, but I know some meets they go back and watch video
Yes.
to confirm that there was disqualification.
Up until a while ago, we could not use video to do that. And then World Aquatic changed the regulations so we could do that. And we caught so many people in the breaststrokes and the butterflies. Just, I think that little butterfly kick at the end.
I think it was a blessing for a lot of people and a curse for some people.
Yes, very much so. Because a lot of people didn't even know they did it to that extent until they got disqualified.
Especially when you talk about getting tired.
Yes.
Your body is kind of, it goes into just motoring along. You're not thinking as strongly as you should about your stroke staying together.
When you're coming into the wall, you're really tired. That's where the butterfly and the breaststroke really come together with those high hips.
Yep.
And the butterfly kick.
And again, as we were talking about earlier, in breaststroke and butterfly, you do that two-hand touch, but you want to get off the wall as fast as possible, and sometimes people are trying to move too fast and can't quite get both hands on the wall at the same time, and that unfortunately is disqualification. Really, lane 5, Harold Simmons is out on his own.
Wow, that's going to be a really great swim for him.
Yeah, wow. Almost an exact 2-second drop by him just now. What a great swim by him. And 4 seconds ahead of second place. So we'll see what this second heat does, but a 4-second difference in 100 is phenomenal. Looks like Christian Joseph out of the Bahamas as well is also coming in with a 106.89. So we might see a great race between them this evening, depending on how Kristen does this morning. A lot of these boys are 12 again, so second time doing this around, and they have experience. That first year in 11-12 is tough. It's your first ever experience in an international competition for most of these kids.
And with that, the next heat is
our top
the
seed
next
is Christian Joseph in lane 5. We saw him earlier in that 200 breaststroke. He was out in lane 0 taking that early lead.
How are these people doing both?
The breaststroke was a warm-up for the boy.
That's insane.
Good job, Joseph.
Absolutely impressive.
He is looking very strong in this first 50.
That was his first time swimming the 200 breaststroke as well. So,
and he made finals. It'd be really impressive for him to see that double again tonight.
Oh, to be 11-12 and have this energy again.
A Russian lane 6 is definitely trying to hold on, trying to get that second position. He has Joseph in his eye line.
That is the good part about butterflies. You can see in front of you. I do know some butterflies also breeze to the side. I tried it for some time. It keeps you a little bit lower. Wow.
5.9.
And that was the overall time
Really great swim.
in preliminaries for the 11
So Kristen gets a second best time since he came into the 200 breast with no time.
Yeah.
2 best times.
He's going to have a really great afternoon session.
Just a little bit when the official results.
But also you have to remember that the afternoon session is going to go a little bit faster. So he's going to have less time. So hopefully his coach is prepping him through that, talking him through what that's going to look like.
Alexandria Congo at block number 3, Jamaica.
Bahamas is really trying to come out to get their 6th consecutive win. We have a lot of Bohemians coming into finals, not just 7th and 8th, but really those top spots.
Yep, every spot is going to matter. So as they introduce this heat of 13-14 women, the sponsor for the 100 butterfly is Father and Sons Yacht Service. Looking for a professional and reliable company to maintain and manage your yacht or watercrafts? Then contact Father and Sons Yacht Service for full maintenance and management of watercrafts for the active owner. We offer engine repairs, mechanical, electronics, paint work, and general services. That's Father and Sons Yacht Service. If you want to gift me a yacht, I will take it. Thank you.
first heat of 1400 meter butterfly.
So lane one, again, Eva Knox is coming in with no time here. So we have no idea what she'll be able to do.
Lane 5 was actually disqualified in this event last year. It is a redemption swim trying to get into finals. But it is Alexandria holding out, going with a 31.99 for that first 50, trying to get into finals tonight.
Absolute excellent first 50 by her. She's very in control of her stroke here.
Matilda is definitely trying to get back into that top position, but she is being challenged by Mila in lane 8 as well. This is what I spoke about the arms being very heavy at the end of the butterfly race.
Yep.
You can see it. It's all about that core and tempo.
Wow.
Oh. It is Matilda with a 109.651.
What an excellent back end there.
Yes.
Setting a challenge 109.61.
Very nice.
And heat number 2 getting ready to
Alexandra's
go.
strategy worked out. She ended up third in that event by going off really fast with 31.99 for that first 50.
It's definitely a gamble to do that, especially in butterfly. When you fall apart, sometimes you feel like you're going up and down vertically.
Sometimes you're not going to make it. Like,
no.
I'm literally not going to make it.
There have been times that I have felt that way.
Jeez. By the grace of God, I made it to the wall.
I'm almost certain that it's just the current that exists in the pool that makes it that I get to the wall.
That would hurt, yeah.
I'm pretty sure that happened in a 200 IM to me once. It was the current alone.
Not in the butterfly leg.
No.
Oh.
In the breaststroke. My coach was like, "You're never doing that again."
Oh. I remember doing 2 IM on my backstroke. I was in lane 8 right beside my coach. And I remember him looking at me and just shaking his head. I was like, oh.
And then having 2 more 50s to go.
Oh. It happens to everybody, guys.
We cannot be great at everything.
Nope. This is heat 2 of 2.
So Malia in lane 5 is going to be going out real fast. You just saw 109 happen before. So if she wants to be in that middle lane, she'll need to make sure she's at least faster than that.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. And it looked like Jaya Simmons in lane 4 was actually out fast.
So she definitely saw the 31.99 in the previous season. She decided to go for it. The rest of the pack is catching up. Her arms are starting to look heavy.
So again, she probably went with a similar strategy and lie and die. That's what I call it.
And it was a good strategy.
Awesome. Wow.
106.46 for Simmons from Barbados. That's a fantastic swim.
And
2-second drop.
They're not official, but it looks like
I love this. Jai Simmons came in with a 108.46 and just swam a 106.46.
Yeah.
I
Top
love that.
speed for tonight. How excited
Getting ready
would
at the
she be?
starting blocks. Now the gentlemen 13 and
For this
14,
event
Jude
later on
Jerome
today.
at block number 1. Ruben Edwards at block 2.
Now we're moving on
Mason
to the
Gabriel at block number 3.
13-14
Nolan
100
Barrett at
butterfly.
4. Block number 5 is Ocean Van Loon. Jaden
Ocean
Davis
Van
at block
Loon, we
number
just
6.
saw him
Chris
in the
Gerald
200 breaststroke.
Silverman at block number 7.
What on earth?
Bailey at block number 8. And Noah Dorville at block number 9.
I think he's the first Ocean I've ever met as a first name.
I like that name.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, 13 and 14, 100-meter butterfly. Heat 1.
So the underwaters are not just for the 50. Sometimes people like to just hold it for one leg. But it should be for the entire race. So you can see in this 100, them trying to force that 15 off the dive and again off the turn.
Absolutely. And again, saving you energy. It might feel like it's harder, but when you're coming up that wall, you have to think about the current that all of those men are bringing into the wall. You're trying to get under that. If you pop right up, you're hitting that like a wall.
Yep. especially when your arms start to fatigue at the end of the race. Saving 2 to 3 strokes by staying on the water at the start definitely helps you get stronger.
It is 28.54. The split.
28.54 for that split. Really nice.
And JD Davis passed that 25-meter mark, bringing it home.
I love the Caribbean. Lane 6 is swimming without any goggles.
I love that.
I used to do that growing up.
Old school.
Right?
That is old
Chlorine
school.
started to attack you.
JD Davis in the water.
That was never me, but
Ooh.
And we're going to take Ocean Van Loon taking
Wow,
over that
Ocean.
finish tag.
and I misspoke. He was in the 50 backstroke, so that makes sense.
101.84 by JD
101.53.
Davis.
Really good time for Ocean.
Great swim. I mean, he's just swam the 50 backstroke and top seed there, and then coming into this race.
Yeah.
Boy, oh boy, energy.
Gentlemen, 13 and 14 100-meter butterfly. Heat 2, the deciding heat.
So again, all those gentlemen standing behind the blocks, they watched that first race. We have Victor Ashby in lane 5 coming in under a minute, only entry under a minute. Can he do it again?
He was 5th in this event last year, so to come back a year later and now top seed. I can't imagine the work that he's put in this last year.
How the tables turn.
15 to 17 ladies taking ownership of the starting blocks right now.
Wow.
It is Miles taking out that early lead of 27.5.
27.5. Wow.
Second faster than the previous lead owned by Ocean. And the rest of the pack is catching him now.
Sometimes if your strength is that front end speed, you just have to go into it and
Yeah. Let go and let God. And it is Kennedy in lane 7 trying to make his move, followed by Ashton in lane 5. You can hear the spectators getting up for this prelim session.
wow. And Ashby, wow.
Nice.
Just a little bit over.
Victor Ashby.
What was really great is that Ashby swam his race.
Is going to put him in.
He waited that first 50 and he took this last 50 and did what he needed to do to get his hands on the wall for first.
That will definitely be a great race this evening between
Yeah.
Mills, Ashby, and Ocean all in the same.
It would be great if we can have 3 guys under a minute.
I think they potentially push themselves to do that.
Yeah.
Number 3.
The power of your country behind you and cheering you on, and then having those people next to you.
It is unreal, and it's something that's missed in international at the higher levels.
Yeah.
Because usually after travel, there's not that many spectators. It's usually 1 or 2 people. That's why we really have to come together as a Caribbean and support each other. in
Exactly.
Olympics and Worlds.
Especially when you're in a big crowd. Your parents can cheer as loud as they want to, but
You're not gonna hear.
they're not going to hear.
And I doubt if they want us
Sorry.
to bring the pats and the pawns.
No. I'm pretty sure if my parents brought cowbells, they would say absolutely not. Not here.
Nah.
So we have the 15 and 17 girls now here. We've got 3 heats of this, so only 8 lanes available for this evening. So it's going to be really important to try and get at least top 3 time-wise in each of the heats to make sure that you get a spot tonight.
And oh my, taking it out. Layla Brown, Trinidad and Tobago.
Faith in lane 8 was the only one new to this 15 and 17 category. The rest of these ladies have been there for a year or 2. We're really going to see Bahamas trying to make a move in lane 7.
And again, they can't see her. She can't see them. So she's really swimming her race here and pushing towards the end and potentially third place here.
Ooh, good touch. 105.66 for Trinidad.
Trinidad and Tobago setting the challenge.
Brownie did a really great swim to get her hands on the wall and where she needed to be.
And at the starting blocks right now, Madeline Conley in block number 2. Denise Green at block 3. Block number 4, Davia Richardson. Sierra Broadbelt at block number 5. Sarah Dowden at block 6. Christiania Shirley at block number 7. And Anasia
We're going to see a recap of the end of this race. Really watch Brownie's touch as he accelerates for the last 5 meters into the wall.
Wow.
To out-touch the rest of her competitors.
Great finish there. That's timed really well.
We're back again, lane 5, broad belt. She actually won this event last year in 13-14. We saw her dominate in that 50 backstroke earlier today.
That's the network you're looking
She's got that speed behind her.
In lowercase SWIM 24, swim 24.
And it looks like we had a scratch in lane 4. Yeah, Richardson.
Is the network you're looking for.
Coming in under all together as they turn at this 50 mark.
What's going on here at the Carifta swimming
Broad belt just a little bit under that 30 mark.
There's the split, 29 and change.
She looks still really great control of her stroke here.
Yeah. Yeah. Shirley in lane 7 is trying to go with her, trying to pick up her tempo. You can see it's picking up just a little bit with 12 and a half left to go.
I am so jealous of these people that have back end speed.
It really is a gift. But it is broad belt holding strong.
There it is, 104,
104.
Now.
Great swim for broad belt to come back and to hold her own in that last 25.
Yeah.
And to really push when she needed to in that last 10 meters.
Absolutely. I think definitely going to be a great race tonight for her again. Hopefully with a little bit of rest this afternoon, coming back and going a little bit faster.
Angelique Leedy at block number 3. Alika Prasad at block number 4. Jillian Crooks takes block 5. Block number 6, Renishka Gibbs.
If you've heard the name Crooks from lane 5, Cayman Islands, you may remember her older brother, Jordan Crooks. He's the first Cayman Island to win a world championship in the 50 freestyle in Australia, 2022. And so this is his younger swimmer coming back, but Cayman is used to world record holders. We already know Sean Fraser.
Yep.
My word.
They're such a small country. They sure do pump out some great swimmers.
Really great swimmers.
Jordan just swimming at NCAAs is absolutely swimming fast, and hopefully has some time to watch his sister race this evening.
That would be really great because she's always there in the stands watching him. But it is Jillian in lane 5 going out for that early speed. We have Gibbs in lane 6. We saw her in that 200 breaststroke. She's back in that butterfly.
Wow, what a great first 50. 28, wow.
28, a second faster than the other Cayman teammate, Broadbelt, in the previous meet. She's very close to the record that we had earlier at 102. She's going to be close to it if she can do it in the morning.
Wow, to be able to get that pressure off, the record is yours, and then you go in tonight and you have fun.
Yes.
Some of my best swims.
She is very close.
She is moving. Wow.
Down to
wow.
101.76. Wow, we definitely have to check with the officials, but I believe that is unofficially a record.
I would almost,
Listen to
Here we go.
Sabrina Lynn of Jamaica, 102.14.
Yep.
Used to have the record. I believe we see a new meet record.
There we go. New meet record by Jillian Crooks. So not just her brother dominating. She said, me too.
Me too. Me too. It's always easier when you have an older sibling and they just take the lead, and you know the path has already been set. I just need to follow.
Exactly.
Right now. To Harry Williams at block number 2, Ashley Johnson.
Really great race. And the previous record holder, Sabrina Lynn, you're going to see her in that 18 and over category. She's going to answer. Even though it is an age group championships, when you reach internationally, you race against everybody. Yep, definitely want to be the fastest in the Caribbean.
Absolute great race there. Now we're looking at the 15-17 boys, so hopefully we'll see a little bit more extended underwaters again.
Yeah.
Really getting out to that 15, and you see that there.
And 3 heats of the gentlemen, 15 to 7.
So we have 3 heats again, trying to get one of the 8 lanes for this evening. Top seed in this race is Christian Jerome out of Haiti.
He was second last year in that 13-14 event. So to have him come in and be the top 3 fastest time is phenomenal. But I also think to have representation, because Haiti has definitely been getting better over the years.
Absolutely.
I know when I swam, I rarely saw a Haitian swimmer. And now to have teams and relays, it's really fantastic for the country.
Absolutely. It's very exciting for them and for him to be a top seed too. So
Yes.
making sure that name and flag is known.
Yep. And he's definitely going to do that.
Wow.
55.90.
Christian Jerome.
55.90. That's a fantastic morning swim for
Excellent swim.
And with that, heat number 2 watching that.
Mackenzie from Jamaica went in for that second position. Jayan holding on to that third.
Block 5 is Christian Dorville. Ethan Stubbs Green at block number 6. Elijah Digley at block number 7. And Tarek Wintergall at block number 8.
So we'll have to see here what Tristan Dorval does out of St. Lucia. Again, another small country that doesn't usually have a lot of athletes. For him to be the top seed here, but we'll see how he responds to that 55.
Lane 5 as well. St. Lucia is 1 too.
Oh, wow.
That's really fantastic. And St. Lucia really has been changing over the last years. The federation has changed, the support for the athletes, and you can see the mentality in these athletes change when they're at the international stage.
It does really take a whole village, so to have a federation behind you and supporting you and giving you what you need to be competitive, yeah, very important. Really even race here across the board, but St. Lucia's touching first. Ooh, 26.44.
And it is St. Lucia who's holding on ahead of Antigua. But Darren from Trinidad is trying to get into the mix as well. They know the time they have to beat from the previous heat.
So lane 5 is really close to that lane line.
Yes.
Needs to make sure that tonight he's swimming down the middle of the lane.
You don't want any accidents, and then you tap the lane line on accident. Great touch by Ethan from Antigua.
Excellent.
Oh,
56.33.
The scoreboard has been corrected, and it will be Tristan in lane 5 from St. Lucia with 56.33.
So just about a half a second slower than we saw Christian Jerome go in the first heat.
Yeah.
But again, it's not about being the fastest time necessarily, just getting a lane tonight.
Anthony Gustadi, block number 5. Block number 6 is Marvin
This
Johnson.
is the last heat of the men's 15 and 1700 yard, 100-meter butterfly. We're going to see lane 5 from St. Lucia again. This is his first year in 15 and 17. He won this event last year in 13-14 category.
I'm sorry. A 54.96 at 15. 97. I'm sorry, what?
At 15.
Huh?
Well, he did it last year, so maybe 14.
Oh, my word.
Beautiful start for him and the rest of the gentlemen in this heat.
Mr. and Mrs. Destang, I need to know what you're feeding Antoine.
Beautiful underwater. He made it to that 15, and he made it look so effortless.
Wow, his butterfly is absolutely beautiful. Great stroke.
The chin right on that wave on the water. Look at his hips. I want to see his underwaters for the second 50. Come on, Antoine.
Wow.
Nice.
Oh my, wow.
Beautiful.
About 10 meters underwater. That is amazing.
Definitely one to watch for the future moving forward, especially for Olympics coming up as well.
Absolutely.
We're going to see Johnson trying to hold on from Bahamas right beside him. Antoine is fading just a little bit, but not enough for Johnson to catch him in lane 6. It's going to be down to the touch.
Wow, what a finish.
And Johnson did it. Down to the touch.
56.4.
Very nice swim. And we don't know Antoine's strategy, if it was just to get out in front and just coast the last 5, But I think he's going to have a really great swim later tonight.
So it looks like Marvin actually touched first just now. So
Yeah.
wow.
The last 10, Antoine started to slow down his tempo just a little bit, and it allowed Johnson to catch him in that last 10 to out-touch him at the wall.
And I know Marvin Johnson has international experience. He has represented the Bahamas at a larger meet. So having that under your belt too, it gives you great experience going into prelims, knowing what you have to do.
Really nice. That's going to be a great race tonight.
So again, we have 18 and over here swimming the 100 butterfly. Whatever they're kind of trying to go for and whatever meet they're trying to qualify for. It's exciting to see more women and men in this age group pushing.
Yes, especially for our Caribbean.
It's
well
usually unheard of.
Yeah.
2 heats of the senior ladies, 2 heats of the senior gentlemen coming up.
So Gabrielle Hisson, apologies if I pronounced that incorrectly, from Grenada is the top seed here in this first seed at 105.85.
Yeah. Everybody but McKaylee in lane 6 is 18. So they were here last year. So it's really great for that continuity as well, like you said, to have that competition at this time of the year.
And for the younger kids to be able to see, like, it is possible. I can do that.
Yes.
I remember when we were coming up, there weren't very many older athletes in the Caribbean that we could look up to.
And you wouldn't get to meet them because they'll be at bigger competitions.
Yep.
You only see them on TV or from a distance. It's going to be McKaylee in lane 6 holding out for that second position. Hyson in lane 5. 105.85 is her seat time.
Just a little bit off of that at 106.
Nice. Still a good swim for Hyson.
Another thing that's really cool about Carifta games, and especially for these 18 and overs that are going on to international competition, sometimes you don't get the opportunity to get a second swim. You only get the prelim. So
yes,
being able to have that second swim tonight is really cool.
It's true because you learn so much experience and you have to wait maybe months before you get to put it into practice again.
Exactly.
So keep your eyes in lane 5. She's the one that got the record in 2022 that Julian Crooks just broke. That is lane 5, Sabrina Lynn.
So she has a point to prove here in getting out fast and being the fastest in the 100 butterfly in the Caribbean.
And if you get a little bit thirsty, they do have drinks on sale in the stadium. Unfortunately, we cannot get any drinks or any paraphernalia in the stadium.
And it is Lynn looking strong, trying to take that early lead.
And it is there and ready.
Great turn there. Timed very well.
28.
Great underwater as well. Stayed under past the flag.
28.72 for her. Right where Jillian was earlier today.
What an amazing swim. She's really just taken off. You also find a lot of times when you get older, you're able to see a closer of an even split.
Yes. As will be Sabrina with a 102.03. She was right there, got a bit tired in that last 7 meters, but this afternoon with more rest, we should definitely be able to see her get back to that 101 or hopefully that 00.
Also, it's her first meet, her first race of the meet, so
yeah,
getting those cobwebs shaken off.
It really is necessary when you get older.
Absolutely.
Feel the cobwebs.
So now we actually do have 2 heats of this 18 and over 100 butterfly. Again, so impressed that we have enough gentlemen to be doing the second heat. Camera down and TV down.
In the commentary area. As we said earlier today, guys, it is very windy. It is very windy, and these athletes are doing best times or close to it with these conditions. It's a phenomenal feat.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, you get kind of a little bit of a wind advantage going out, but coming back, it's in the butterfly. Uh-oh.
getting out in that early lead. We're going to see Grenada. Zachary Gresham, he actually swam a competition last weekend and did phenomenal in that yard competition.
Great swim here by Grenada.
Lane 5, it is Zachary. Very nice swim. He's usually a backstroke specialist, so to see him branching out into the butterflies is really a great treat.
Very cool.
And with that, heat number 2, the deciding heat. Stefano Mitchell at block number 3. Joshua Murray takes block number 4. Emmanuel Jackson at 5. Johan Matthew Montemaro at block number 6. At block number 7, Thomas Bowers. Eric Gordillo at block number 8.
So we're seeing a second heat here of 18 and overs.
100 butterfly, heat 2.
Oh my gracious, Joshua Murray's 22. I remember him when he was, oh Lord. I love that there's 3 Bahamians in this, 4 18 and overs in this. That really shows that they are working towards having a little bit of an older group here.
Yes, we saw Gadsden earlier today in that 200 breaststroke. Maybe there's a bigger relationship than the 1500, but there still is a relationship there.
How are people doing these things? I would have never been in a 200 breast and 100 fly.
I think breaststroke can go to fly, but fly to breast may be a bit tricky.
Yeah.
And it's that outside smoke from Guatemala. Gordillo is a freestyle specialist in that 200, 400, and 800 at Pan Am's and Commonwealth Youth Games. We're going to see him doing a really great butterfly with a 56.87.
Wow. And normally we wouldn't see Guatemala at a Carifta Games, but again, they are trying to make sure that everybody in the Caribbean has an opportunity to get in a race. And so, excellent opportunity for those older boys to really get global experience.
Really great for Bahamas to see that vision. Because it's not just one country succeeding, it's the entire Caribbean.
And it's going to be Antigua Barbuda at block number 1.
And it is relay time.
My favorite time of the year.
15 and 17, 400-meter freestyle relay.
So it's always interesting to see how countries and teams decide to put their team together.
Yeah.
There's timing and is really important in terms of where you put your workhorse or the strongest 100 freestyler.
Yeah.
Do you lead them off?
Yeah.
Do you put them at the end to try and run anybody down? It's always interesting to see the strategy behind it. I know I was always usually last.
Usually, right?
I would go 4th on the relay.
I was usually 2nd and 3rd.
The nerves of standing behind the blocks and watching 3 other people from 100 freestyle get out of the pool and look exhausted and know that you still have to do it.
Much less to see everybody catching up to the lead that was there. And you're like, okay, it's up to me.
Yep.
It is up to me.
Pressure's on. But boy, did I love that.
Oh, my word. Some people thrive in it. We really do.
Yeah, I think it's come down to haunt me now in my professional life. I thrive on pressure. AKA procrastination.
Keep your eyes in lane 5 from Cayman. We just saw Jillian Crooks. She just got that record in the 100 butterfly, as well as Broadbet will be going 2nd. We've heard her name.
Jillian Crooks leading off. Her brother, again, an amazing sprint freestyler.
Yeah.
So based on that 100 fly, just now we're going to see a really great 100 freestyle out of her.
Great. I think her C time is a 55 low. So she should be right there.
And again, she just got out of her 100 butterfly. So
I'm not sure she warmed down.
She's probably still dripping wet.
It's a long distance to the end of that 50 to warm down and run back up.
And it looks like we are going to go straight to finals with 18.
Just kidding.
We will not swim the 15 to 17 ladies.
So it looks like one of the relays.
And they are super excited.
Yeah. So it looks like one of the relays, I'm not sure which one, is not going to participate. So now the gentlemen who thought they had probably about 4 or 5 minutes before they race are now stepping up behind the block. But maybe not.
I think as long as all the coaches decide to go straight final, I think it's a good decision, because these ladies have swum multiple events already for the day. This relay would extend that, and it's already 11:25.
Right. And while it is very important to have those relays because they are worth a lot of points,
yes,
you want to make sure that you're protecting your swimmers. This is a long meet. You don't want to add more to their plate.
On the first day, not at all. But the gentlemen look like they will be swimming.
We are going to bid our referees and officials thank you for this morning's competition. No. That was the stand-up whistle for our referees and officials.
So it looks like
the men are not swimming. I don't think anybody told the men.
We're a little bit confused here because the men are walking out to the blocks, but the announcer just said that the officials are going to be leaving. So
a bit of a miscommunication, but there are the same amount of entries between female and male.
And the gentlemen are going to go straight to finals.
So they should put them straight to finals as well.
So both the ladies 15 to 17 and the gentlemen 15 to 17, 400 meter freestyle.
So it seems that these boys don't know.
I think it is a good choice for the first day. The sun is getting pretty hot out here now. We've already had somebody cramp up from dehydration. These guys have been swimming for 2 hours, going on 2.5.
Apparently we had.
If they don't need to swim this morning for the relay, I think it's a good decision to go to finals.
Another site that no, we didn't.
So we're hanging on for a second here.
In just a moment.
Looks like they're collaborating with officials and coaches probably to see if this relay will go off or not. Again, there are 9 teams, so
and the issue at
technically
you
should only have 8 in the final.
That's what we're
so
talking about here.
Just
and
one team wouldn't make
teams
it.
In the heat sheet. And if we only have 8 teams, we will go straight to finals.
Oh, so even there were 9 in the women. One of the countries did not show up.
Unknown which one it was.
To decide who the 8 teams are.
But if they have 9, then they should go. So, I see hands cheering.
They're gonna,
and there's the applause from the men.
Is that happy about going to finals without having this morning?
We've got some boys dancing in the background.
Like 15 to 17 age group category going straight to finals.
Oh, that's hilarious.
And officials.
So very cool to watch the boys be excited not having to swim this morning.
They're all coming together. It's not just perched by team. All the men are coming together.
All the countries are celebrating together. I mean, a lot of these boys that are on that relays have already swam today at one event, if not 2. So to be able to just go straight to finals, they can get home, get some rest before finals start tonight at 6 p.m.
It is amazing. Thank you all for being with us. We were very excited over prelim session 1. It was truly fantastic to start off this competition. We had a record in the 100 butterfly from Jillian Crooks that was exceptional in the morning, and we had lots of best times as well. We'll see you guys tonight. There'll be lots of fast swimming, lots of entertainment, and then that fantastic relay that we did not get to see this morning will be swum tonight. So definitely come back with us later tonight for the excitement. We'll see you then.
Coming up, the world's finest cocoa comes from the Caribbean, and the awards are piling up. Caribbean Airlines welcomes you home. Learn more about Republic Bank's Power to Make a Difference program, and regional ties deepen as Barbados networks in Trinidad and Tobago. All this and more on Caribbean Passport TV, right here on this station.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.